Hi, guys, and welcome to the live stream for this Friday. I know I just set it up like 8 minutes ago again. It's just been a crazy busy day, and I came super close to just saying, no, I can't do it. I'm so tired. Plus, it's like about a thunderstorm. So if I glitch out, it's probably because our power went out. We're supposed to get some pretty big thunderstorms today. Nice to see you here, Jenny and Gayla. Always good to have you guys write with me. And I am still working on that other book. I got the cover. I sent out a cover request to some cover designers to see if they can come up with the cover idea that I like. And I'm excited to have that so that I can start showing you guys that stuff and start talking about the book. Nice to see you here, Dexter, too. And both Dexter and Jenny are listed as number one. So that's kind of weird that the little top fans thing, because you guys were like, maybe because you guys comment the most in the chat. I don't know. No timer today because again, I did not figure it out in time. Yeah, I'm terrible about that. I just completely forget until I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I should probably figure that out." What I have to do every time to remember how to do it is to watch the stupid video on how to hook it up and put it in there. It's not that complicated, it's just I forget. So, yeah, sorry, guys. But I do have a sprint, prompt for you guys for the sprints today. I did remember to do that at least. Because I think one of the things that I've been liking in some of the books I've been reading is twists. And so I thought, let's talk about twists for our sprint today. And one of the things I'm really trying to put into this book that I'm working on right now is a lot of twists that you don't see coming. Basically, I get to the end of the scene and I'm like, what is the opposite of what I think is going to happen here? And then I write the opposite so that it becomes something really cool and different. At least I hope so. You never know. So, um, let me know how your books, your week, your books are going, your writing's going, and how your week's been going. And I am wearing my kind of ugly YouTube creator community shirt today, but it is a YouTube shirt, and that's kind of cool to me. Um, if you guys saw the Team Water video, Mr. Beast has put a T-shirt in the mail, so hopefully I have that by next week. I should have it. I think Monday is what my mail thing. My informed digest thing said for the mail. I get that every day that tells me when things are coming. And I've got a hat too that I ordered from Team Water. So yeah, that's a video that's on my channel that's all about their charity efforts to raise $40 million. I think they've raised 10 million so far. I put my $50 in out of my $500 goal. I'm not going to make a huge dent there, but $50 gives 50 people water for 1 year. So each dollar gives one person a year's worth of water. So that's why they want to raise so much money. Is there a right place for a twist? There's always every place is a twist, Jenny, if you can. Generally, you really want to have them at the 1/3 point, which is when, the act changes from act one to act two to act three, if you're doing a three-act structure, or when you want the to really hook the reader. You can feel it in your gut. You can kind of feel like your book is sort of taking a predictability feel to it. And so you're going to want to twist it and turn it in a new direction. Um, oh, Dexter gives us experience points. Now I have 50. I think whoever's online with the most gets number one. But when do we level up to no ads? Yeah, I know, right? I don't think that YouTube's ever going to let you level up to no ads. I do know that they are launching communities. I don't think that that is something that is live on my channel yet, where you guys will be able to post in the community on YouTube. I do have my own community. It's linked in the description of every single one of my videos where you can post and ask me questions whenever you want. There's only actually a couple people, Jenny's one of them, I think, that is active over there. So you pretty much have my undivided attention because not very many people are posting questions in the writing compelling fiction community. Even though it's got a lot of members, people are pretty quiet. So there's not a lot of questions to answer. Nice to see you here, Natalie. And Four Wall Holiday, hello. Didn't you just commented on something, I think, because that seems familiar to me. Jenny has a huge twist, but I'm not sure should I reveal it in the middle point or later. It really all depends. Like you can always write another twist later on too. I know that the book I was reading had this massive twist early on that I was like, whoa, I did not see that coming. And then others have had them closer to the end. I think it really depends on what your gut is telling you. First three chapters, Dexter's got up to 18,000 words. What an awesome feeling to look through them. Yes, right? And you wrote every single one of them. That's pretty cool. Every single time when I get a book cover or a book in my hands, I'm like, I wrote that. That was mine. It's like ridiculously cool every single time. So we probably have enough time to do three, maybe four sprints today if I don't talk too much. Which I can talk a lot, believe me. You guys know you watch my channel. Um, but I'm going to work on my book. And I just realized that my computer restarted. Yay, awesome. So I don't even know. It's just like every time you try to do something and you're just like, why? Why would it restart? And this is a temporary file. And my God, I hate Microsoft Word sometimes. Um, but yeah, so hopefully it saved what I wrote the last time I wrote. I do save it every single time because I'm always worried about that. I have to dig into the file and see. And nice to see you here, Silver Ollie. Let's do a 15-minute sprint. I got to bring my phone timer down because like I said, did not figure out the timer for OBS. Like it's just beyond me. I like literally need courses every single week because I'll forget all of the different things that I'm supposed to do. Um, let's bring that up to 15 minutes and we will start working on our book. And I will see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes, guys. And I got working in the book file and then got like, I don't know, 10 minutes into my 15 minutes and realized that that's the wrong file because my computer restarted and it brought up an old version. I don't, honest to God, I don't know what Microsoft is thinking half the time. It's like the dumbest software sometimes. But I saw that all of you guys were all talking about twists in the chat, so that's awesome. And I love the story about the Four Wall Holiday being a song for your mother. That's really cool. It is a cool title, and it is a cool title for a song too. And the book being an extension of the music brand, that's brilliant, I think. For my nonfiction clients, a lot of what I use their books for is to create and build their brand because it really does make you stand out, even though there's a bazillion books out there. And yay, Natalie found a new twist, and Four made a complicated twist. And what have I done with myself? I think about that all the time. Like I create these twists, and then I'm like, what am I going to do now that this person is dead, or I've married them off, or whatever it is that I've done that has created a twist that I have to get my character out of. Great job, Silver Ollie, on the 145 words. I'm working on like two books at a time. I have a proposal that's floating around New York still with editors and stuff. And I'll go in every once in a while and work on that. And I threw a twist into that that I still don't know how I'm going to fix or not fix, but like deal with. And so I've been just kind of thinking about that one in the back of my head while I'm working on this one. So the one that I'm working on with you guys on Fridays now is going to be a self-published series, a suspense series. That's the one that I'm getting the cover done for. So I'm hoping to have that out probably in January, February. I'll have a better idea by the time I get to about September, at the end of September, about where I'll be with it because I'll have enough done that I'll be able to reasonably predict when I can release it. Jenny has a great question. What makes a great twist? And it really is something that the reader does not expect or see coming. And if you read a lot, it's really hard to surprise you as a reader, I'm sure. And if you can get a reader to go, then that is a great twist, right? That's what you want. It's super hard to do. And don't get me wrong, it's super hard to do. And I can literally count on one hand the number of things that have made me go in the last year or so that I was really surprised at how things turned out in a book or a podcast or something that I was reading. Um, I had an audiobook. I think I told you guys about this. I think it was called Impact Winter had a twist in the first third that was so good, and then it never had another twist after that, and I was like, I listened to this whole thing for nothing." But the first twist was really, really good, and so I loved that. Then there's a podcast I listened to, called To Live and Die in LA, and when it was filmed, which was like 4 or 5 years ago, it was filmed, like, in live in real time with the crime being solved, and so there was a twist that happened in that that totally surprised me, surprised the podcast host, surprised everybody because when you hear it, nobody saw it coming. So when you can do that, it's really, really cool. You got to really watch them on TV shows and stuff and say, okay, that was really good. And why was that so good? Why did I not see that coming? And when you get to the end of your scene, think about how can this go in the opposite direction of what I think? Like, for instance, I just had a scene where it looks like somebody dies because that was not what I hope the reader or the people in the scene were expecting. And then it turns out that it's not what they think. So that kind of thing, even though it's sort of like a, Dallas JR shot in the shower thing. Now I'm really dating myself because you guys probably don't even know what Dallas is. But, those kind of twists that you're like, oh, that was stupid. But that's what I've got right here. Any good books with a great twist? Jenny asked. And I'm trying to think of what I've read lately, that has a really great twist. Hmm. It takes a lot to surprise me. It really does. Impossible Fortress, which I'm going to talk about as one of the books you should absolutely read, by Jason Rekulak. It was his first book. It was actually a really, really good um, twist that I didn't see coming. And Ashley Elston, is it The Lies I Tell? Forget what the title is. I've talked about that book on the channel before. That had some great twists that I didn't see coming. Um, it really is hard for me to not see the twist that they have because I plot books, I work with books all day long. Gayla said, I'm thinking about adding a twist to the book I started the last time we did masterminds. I'm trying to figure out where she finds out who Marshall really is. That sounds good. That I love that kind of a secret, exposed kind of twist. I'm gonna have to look at the books that I have on my shelf and put that into some kind of a future video about like which books I've read lately that have a really, really good twist. Um, 7 heartwarming lines of dialogue. WordPad doesn't give word counts. Hey, but then you can say that your word counts whatever you want it to be, Dexter, right? But 7 heartwarming lines of dialogue works for me. And Gayla says, I need you to do an audiobook on writing a suspense like the ones you did for Love Inspired Suspense. Yeah. In my spare time. I'm working so much. But the company that I started with my business partner, we have somebody starting in 9.5 days now because it's almost 5 o'clock today, who is going to alleviate a significant amount of my workload. So I'm so looking forward to it. It's not even funny. So I'll bring him on, and then I immediately leave to go to BoucherCon in New Orleans. So it'll probably be about a 3, 4 weeks before I notice the difference in my workload because I'll be gone for BoucherCon, which will put me behind in work. Yeah, life. um, LibreOffice is free, so you need a solution for long documents. Four Wall Holiday said, and Shutter Island. Yes, Shutter Island had a great twist, Jenny. Yes, that was a really, really good twist. Mobland, the TV show, had some really great twists in it that I didn't expect. Um, Smoke had some good twists in it. That's written by Dennis Lehane. It was good. A lot of Dennis Lehane's books have really good twists in them that you don't see coming. Mystic River, fantastic. Gone Baby Gone, same thing. Twists that I did not predict. Michael Corita is also very good at that, and he does that when he's writing both as a Michael Corita and as Scott Carson when he does his more paranormal type stuff. But yeah, those guys have some great ones. Wait Until Dark. I don't think is that a movie? I probably have seen it. Um, and The Watchers was good. That had a kind of a weird twist to it. Both the TV show, the movie, and the book. That was actually a kind of creepy book. I really liked it. Hey, NBR, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I think we need to do another sprint, and I'll look at my bookshelf too. While nice to have you here for a holiday, and see you next time. Um, yeah, I think there will be at one next week. I've always got to look at my calendar to make sure that I'm going to be here next week. You should be here next week. I may be in a different location because I have to go into Tampa that afternoon. So I may, well, let me say that I should be, hope to be here next week, but I have to be in Tampa at 2 o'clock. So I'm not positive I'll be able to get back in time to do that. But the 29th, I should be here. And that's the end of August. So 22nd's a maybe, or 15th. 15th is a maybe. 22nd, yes. 29th, yes, so far. So, we'll see on the 15th. Just because if I get stuck in the city, I won't be able to do one. Sometimes you guys have seen it. I've gone to a bar before and done it, but it doesn't always necessarily happen that way. And Gayla remembers Dallas and Who Shot JR. Wait Until Dark, Audrey Hepburn. Yes, I love Audrey Hepburn. I loved Breakfast at Tiffany's. And yes, that was a really good movie. All right, let's do another sprint, and I will look at my bookshelves real quick and see if there's anything behind me because I keep the ones I want to talk about on the channel on my bookshelf behind me and see if there's anything there that I thought had a really good twist lately. And then I'll get back to you guys in 15 minutes. So see you in 15. There we go. Another 15 minutes. And I ended up putting a twist into the scene that I keep looking at that camera. That's my work camera. This is my YouTube camera. Um, I ended up putting a little tiny twist into the scene that I was working on. Um, and it's something I kept coming back to a few times, but when I wrote the prompt, that gave me an idea for what I could work on today. And I promised to come back and talk about books that had twists I didn't see coming. Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I've talked about that book a lot on the channel. That had some really good twists at the end that I absolutely didn't see coming. Ashley Elston's The Lies I Tell, I think that's what it is. Um, I'll Be You by Janelle Brown, and also Watch Me Disappear. This had really, really good twists. I'll Be You had pretty good twists. This one I did not predict the ending that I saw. And The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhand. I've loved this book, you guys know, because I've talked about it a ton on the channel. I didn't predict the killer in that one. Um, Riley Sager's The Only One Left had a great twist in the end. And I think The Quarry Girls had a pretty good twist in terms of who it turned out to be. And Impossible Fortress by Jason Rekulak, which like I said, I'm going to talk about on the channel soon in one of those shorts about books I think you should read if you're a writer, was a very well done book, like the kind of book I want to read 2 or 3 times. It was so good. I'm going to go back and start rereading it now that I'm just about done with the book that I'm reading, like a little bit every night because it's just so clever and well done. And if you like Stranger Things, it's not the paranormal sci-fi part of Stranger Things, but it's that time of time period and those kind of kid relationships. You will love it. It's really, really well done. It's his first book and it's excellent. Um, let's see. How is everybody's I'm seeing the movie Weapons today. I've not heard of that movie. I want to see Jurassic Park Rebirth. I think we're going to try to stream that over the weekend. And then there was something else that we just signed up to see, and I don't remember what it is. We watch a lot of stuff. We're watching Dexter Resurrection right now, which has actually been pretty good. And, even though I think I know what the twist is, it's been pretty good. So and Smoke, which is written by Dennis Lehane on Apple TV, has been pretty good. It has Taron Egerton in it, who is so good in Blackbird. Like, Blackbird should have gotten him a ton of Emmys because he was so good in it. It's very, very good and based on a true story. How was everyone's weekend? Any weekend plans? Mine is to record and edit some videos for Monday's release, but also hopefully, if the storms let up, get some time outside in the pool because we've got that new pool. It's in my um Team Water video that I released Wednesday, I think. You can see the backyard. We still don't have the screen up yet, but the pool itself is done, and we've been here for years and just we're dying and dying to have a pool because we live in Florida and we did pool and solar all at the same time. So yeah, we're kind of using up one resource, but we're saving another. So we're hoping it kind of cancels it out. But you'll see my rain barrel in there and some of my native plants that I have because I'm really big on trying to use the resources that are here. I have a rain garden, I have all of that kind of thing. So um, and Natalie's waiting for a twist. Yeah, right? Like, you just gotta write the opposite of what everybody expects. And I usually make that list of 6, like I talked about in the video on shocking plot twists. I come up with 6 so that I'm really digging deep, and if it's hard to come up with 6, like numbers 5 and 6, you're doing it right. And I agree, Jenny, that every scene needs some kind of twist, even if it's just a little one, just so that the reader stays on their toes. And Four Wall Holiday says, My Mother Has Watched Me Disappear. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I read that one twice, so I really liked it. I very rarely read a book twice. Rock Howard, hey, welcome to the channel. 169 words on a brand new short story, just the initial setup, and so no twist yet, but I have a concept in mind. I love that. That's awesome. Um, like a concept of a twist. I think that's going to be good. I usually have that too. Like, I kind of know where I want to go with it, and then a lot of times the story will surprise me sometimes, and I'll have to either rethink what I planned or go with what the new thing is. Um, and rewatching Foyle's War, which I don't think I've heard of that, so I'm not sure what that is. Installing a new garden path this weekend if it's not too hot. Yeah, that sounds good. I just saw some guy do that. I watch those videos, like the mowing videos on TikTok. It's really satisfying to watch somebody else mow their lawn and do all that hard yard work. If you see my yard in the back of the water video, I've done all of that myself. in the summer in Florida, and I don't know what is wrong with me, why I've done that. But when we first bought this house, it was just grass. There was nothing there, just grass, no plants whatsoever. And I've planted every single plant that's in there. I've laid all of the mulch because my husband did all the renovation work in the house, so the garden became kind of my thing. And it's grown quite a bit and it's becoming really big. I've got a good friend of my son's who works for a native nursery here in Florida, and he's going to come over in the fall and help me like move some things around. And because I didn't know what I was doing really when I first did it, so he's going to come over and say, trim this, move this over here, get rid of that, and that kind of thing. Because I don't really know what I'm doing still. I try. Um, and for Wall Holiday got a guitar that will be delivered this weekend. That will make 8. That's awesome. You can always have one more. Yeah, don't tell my daughter that. My daughter has a ton of music equipment. She actually sings in a band, and she's got 4 albums out, I think, with her band. And she used to work at Sweetwater Sound, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Like everybody in the music industry knows Sweetwater, and she had so much stuff when she worked there. NBR asked if I'm an outliner or a pantser. I'm a little of both because I personally don't think that you can just write an entire book by the seat of your pants. You have to have some kind of a plan. It can be vague. Like you don't have to have every single scene figured out. If I have all that figured out, I don't want to write the book. The book loses its interest for me. So what I need to do is like write 3 chapters and then sort of roughly figure out the plot. And when I mean roughly, like I have an idea about what the twist is going to turn out to be in this story. Hopefully that's how it works out. And who the killer is going to be and who's going to die. And I don't know all the other real details in there. I do have my other main characters because I have 2 protagonists in the story. um, I have their story arcs figured out, what their goals are that are outside of the suspense novel, and how that's gonna figure into the suspense plot. But I don't, like, really outline it. I just sort of do this, and I don't have one in front of me, but I do this, big sheet of paper. Let me show you. Here's one. This one's got water on it, but I do these big sheets of paper where I kind of figure everything out. Um, this is for a different book that I didn't finish. I didn't come back to yet. That's a paranormal suspense that I haven't gotten back to. But I do this whole big figuring sheet where I figure out each character, each main character that way, and come up with their weaknesses and strengths and their deep emotional wounds and the impact of their past, all of those things that I talk about. I do all of those things on here. As I'm going through this character's past, I'm asking myself why and what was the impact, and then how does that tie into the story and what are her weaknesses and strengths and all of those kinds of things. So all of that goes on these. Those are called Oasis pads from Levenger. I'm not even sure if they still make them. Mine, I've had them forever because I ordered a ton when I got them. And that allows me to sort of see it in one place. So that helps me encapsulate the story. But that's as much of like a plan as I do. And good thing I stumbled upon your channel. You give out great advice. Thank you, Owl Man. I appreciate it very much. And Sensei, yeah, I don't feel like much of a sensei sometimes, especially when I'm trying to figure out my own book. And for Wall Holiday gotten Sweetwater stuff before. Yeah, they do always send their customers candy. I remember, and if you've ever been to their facility, it's super cool. It's like Google inside. Like they have a slide, they have a hair salon. They bring in like they brought in oh, I can't remember the country singer, but they had a like a famous country singer come in at lunchtime one time when I was there. They brought in the ballet to come and perform at lunchtime for the employees. Like it's a crazy place. But it's also, it wasn't a good work culture for her, and there wasn't a lot of advancement opportunities for her with what she does. So she went on to something else. Dexter said, I thought I was a plotter, but those times when the characters tell me where they're really going are pure gold. Yes. And Gayla, this paper is they're Oasis, they're called Oasis, like Oasis in a desert notepads, and Levenger.com has them. Um, they're just like they're like a ridiculously overpriced office supply store online. Like they do really good leather journal books and stuff like that. I had to like unsubscribe from their emails because I would buy everything there. And it's really expensive stuff when I could go to Office Depot and get it for a lot cheaper. But I love these pads because they allow me to put everything in one place. All right, let's do one more, but let's just do 10 minutes this time because it's almost 5. And personally, I'm starving and I want some dinner. It's been a long week and a long day, and I'm kind of bummed that it's the weekend already because I feel like I didn't get enough done this week. That is the story of my life. All right, so 10 minutes, guys, and I'll see you back in a sec. Oh, let's try the sprint. Okey guys, you got my crappy camera now because the good camera died, the battery died. I was thinking maybe I should change the battery before I start filming. I think I need to get, like, some new batteries. I think that they're sort of kind of, wearing out. I've had that camera for a few years. Okay, somebody asked me, do I use 3 act structure? I think I do just sort of instinctually. I don't purposely set out to think that way, but when I first started writing, you had to submit the first 3 chapters, the proposal, and you had to have a hook at the end of those 3 chapters. And so that was the first third of my book. My books, those 50,000, 60,000 word books always came in between 10 and 12 chapters. So that was always a natural 3 act structure for me. And so that was how I learned to write. I don't think I've ever set out to consciously create it that way. I talk about it on the channel, and that kind of helps me deal with how I process my stuff and how I write my stuff. But yes, I basically do. I also kind of meld that in my own way with the hero's journey, because I like the writer's journey book and the techniques that Vogler talks about in there. Um, Let me see. It just spun up. That was NBR's question, and Forwell had one last question. Does the setting the vibe get you in your workflow? And all I took was for me to turn the color of my ground screen to a light orange, and then I was able to write. Actually, no, I can write anywhere, anytime, any time of day. Because when I first started writing books, I had 2 kids at home, little kids, and I was working full time, and I was sneaking writing in while somebody was playing with Legos or while the pasta was boiling for dinner. Like I've always snuck the writing in among the rest of my life. And so, think when I was a journalist in Boston for a lot of big newspapers, I learned that you just write, you just do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks. That's basically how I always approach it. So I don't have to have a music or a setting or anything. It's a job that I happen to love and that I really get passionate about, but it's a job that I show up and do every day. The Owl Man has an idea for 3 high concept novels, and I'm working on a twist for one of them. It's kind of a twist of Darth Vader revealing to Luke Skywalker who's his father, but in a different genre. I like that. And you can always use that as a high concept pitch if you pitch your book or you use it as a back cover blurb. You can do something like referencing another story when you pitch it. If you pitched it to a regular agent or editor, you could say it's like a fantasy version of Star Wars or something like that, with the same family dynamics. Yeah, a fantasy version of Star Wars with the same family dynamics. And that would be a high concept pitch. That's where you're taking something that has done exceedingly well and giving it your own twist. Those kinds of books are far easier to sell to traditional publishers than ones that don't have a high concept, because basically all the publisher wants to do is sell the book, and you have to give them the tools to sell the book. And a high concept hook helps sales get it right away. Jenny says she needs her music to write, and orange is an interesting color, right, Dexter? Yeah, and I don't really, I don't really have anything like that. Um, uh, Silver Alley got another 121 words, and Rock Howard got 162 words. And Alaman's not sci-fi, it's a sports political drama taking place in Venezuela. That's a pretty interesting setting and a really different kind of book. And the main character wants to flee the dangerous country and play professional baseball in America. And yeah, my screen was frozen because my stupid camera died. Anyway, that's telling me it is Friday and it is time to stop for the week. So I appreciate you guys coming and joining me on this day when I'm so exhausted. And you can probably tell it's been a very, very long week on my end. And I really appreciate getting to work on my book with you guys. So I will let you know about next Friday, hopefully in advance, because again, I'm going to be in Tampa. It'll probably be like a last minute thing again because I don't know that I'll be out of my meeting in time, but hopefully I am. And Walter, no problem. You can always watch it on replay. But thank you for joining us. It happens almost every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you all. Have a great weekend. And I